Welcome to the channel, everyone. The thesis of the day is how and why long term future returns will be much lower. So, from one side of the table, you got people like Cathy Wood, who thinks that actually the drive of technological change will bring things like deflation and it will be so exponential that we're going to be really into another sphere of life. And then opposite to Kathy, there are people like Peter Thiel, who think that we are in an area of stagnation since the 70s. So we're going to analyze both facts and reach a conclusion. So the periods that we will be analyzing is from the 1950s until 2020 versus 2020 until the 2090. The reason for that is we're just taking 70 years from either side. And those 70 years are more or less the 70 years that Warren Buffett has been investing throughout his life. So we want to see whether actually there will be a new Warren Buffett in 2090 with the same level of wealth, for instance. So the first thing to compare here is the populational growth because population is very high correlated with the GDP in total, of course. So from the first period, 1950 to 2020, the population grew 3.12 times, while according to the UN, from 2020 to 2090, the population will grow around 1.43 times. We'll get to 11.2 billion of people from what we have today, which is 7.8 billion. Now, the other considerations that we also need to have, but are very hard to quantify, is well, in this period as well, we started having the women's participation in the workforce because before that they were just taking care of their home. And also a massive movement towards more globalization and specialization, with each countries that were good at something they would specialize on that. Now, in terms of what new technologies we actually innovated and expanded towards the globe. So first of all, cars were not invented in this period. They were actually before, but car became a commodity in this period, meaning that a lot of people started to have them. Global electricity, not only in the developed countries, but also in development. Well-rounded public transportation, mass manufacturing production, home appliances everywhere, such as fridge, TV, microwave, computer, email, cell phone, internet, integrated supply distribution systems that we currently see in Walmart. All of those things together. Now, if you compare to what we expect in the next 70 years, we expect a lot of development in AI, VR, autonomous cars, blockchain, quantum computing, asteroid mining, space exploration, gene editing. And the question will be, will this technology really bring a lot more on top of what we currently have? Because the thing that you need to take into consideration that it's all about percentages, right? So it's how much more in terms of percentage will new technologies bring on top of what we currently have, and that percentage needs to make up for actually the fact that the populational growth will be half of what it was. So GDP will equal always productivity times hours worked times the number of people working. So if the number of the people working are not increasing, if the number of hours, as you can see that everyone is stretched everywhere most of the time, is probably not working, then what needs to work is productivity and increase, and that's what we will be looking at. I'll now play a clip from Mad Men. Okay, the famous TV show on media advertising. And what I want you to notice is how similar a kitchen from the 1960s look like. So observe that they have a fridge, they have an oven, they have all the plates and tables and things that you would expect and you still use to this day. What I want you to recognize is that technology inside our houses hasn't changed that much.
Have a good day, Daddy.
You too.
We're going to the community center to watch them fill the pool.
That sounds fun. Have a good day.
And here's the thing, we haven't even spoken of the other variables that actually show how overvalued the market currently is. So the next one in line is the Sharlar P Ratio, which basically takes into consideration the last 10 years in terms of earnings and give us a weighted average. So that is really important so that we can take out things that only happen 1 year or two, such as COVID. And you can see that the Sharlar P ratio is currently at 38. So there was only once that was higher than that in the 99 crisis. Another variable that shows that we are very overvalued right now is the word debt. So we've never had so much debt as now. We are climbing up towards our $300 trillion in global debt. How fun is this? That is the highest in the history. And last but not least, interest rates. How low can they go? This is the history of interest rates since the first bond, the Dutch bonds in 1350. And you can see that from 1941, more or less the period that we're looking at, it was 1.9%. It climbed up in the period that we were analyzing until 1974 to 14.2%, and then since then it's been a long-term decline, and in the last decade or two it's been very much near zero. And this was pre-pandemic, so post-pandemic again back to zero. So those three more variables that we hadn't included in the first part of the analysis: P ratio at the highest level ever, word debt at the highest level ever, interest rates at the lowest level ever, meaning that we have no bullets to pull for the future. So I think that the 9 is so big, overgrow the fact that the population is going to be half, the fact that we are maximizing P ratios, interest rates, global debt. Bear in mind as well that growing off a smaller base is a lot easier than growing off a bigger base. So the technological advancements in this period will have to be so much exponentially more than the previous period in order for the long-term returns to be higher. Now I'm gonna finish this video by playing a clip from Boston Dynamics for you to gauge where we're at in terms of robotics, AI, VR, currently as it stands, and to just tell you goodbye for now and have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video, leave your like, and that's it, guys. See you later.